Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Coach Kevin Sparks here, and want to wish you good morning, or good afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're joining us from. And let's go ahead and get started. Going to go ahead and share my screen with you here really quickly. If you are here with us for the very first time, or possibly you're watching this as a recording in the future, want to point out something to you. We have a Facebook group that coincides with our meetup, has exactly the same name. I want to be really rich, and I do not apologize for it. So I want to be really rich. I do not apologize for it. Come join us. What you can do is go into your Facebook profile, find where your search Facebook function is, and start typing that in, and you will find us. The other way is you could go directly to facebook.com/groups/ I want to be really rich as one word. Now, the reason for joining the Facebook group, couple different reasons. Reason number one, if we have any special announcements, we will try and pin that up to the top. The next thing is we like to take as long as I remember to hit record, we will take the recording of the Zoom meetings, excuse me, and typically later the same day or sometime the next morning, the Zoom meeting will be posted here. As you can see, there was yesterday. And then if you go back, oh, there was Friday and there was Thursday and so on and so forth. So if you happen to attend a meeting and you really, really like it, this is your opportunity to go over it again. Or let's say that you are with us on Monday and Tuesday. For some reason, Wednesday, you can't make it. You're with us Thursday and Friday. You can always go back and review whatever it is that you weren't able to attend so you can stay caught up with us. Okay, next thing I want to point out to you is what we are currently in the process of studying right now. This is what we're in today. We're in a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It is written by Joseph Murphy. I happen to have it on Kindle. I also happen to have it on Audible, probably even have a paperback copy lying around somewhere. Gone through it 3 or 4 times over the years, but it's been several years since I have, and dusted it back off, took it back out and dusted it off, because after we finished up the previous thing we were going through, which taught us about all the laws that govern receiving money and wealth into our lives, not just the law of attraction, which, by the way, is a subsidiary law to the law of vibration. We went through the 7 different laws that are important to know, understand how they function in relationship to manifesting money and wealth in our lives. And once we went through that, the next logical step for us was to figure out how our mind works. And most importantly, how our subconscious mind works, because our subconscious mind puts our life on autopilot based on what got programmed into it. And if you are having a challenge receiving what it is you truly want in your life, if you don't have all the money that you want, all the wealth that you want, or there are other areas of your life where you're finding lack of what you want and you're trying and trying and trying, but you're not succeeding to manifest what you want in your life, I can 100% guarantee you the reason is you have a program, or more than one program, but you have at least a program in your subconscious mind that is in opposition to you receiving whatever it is that you want. As long as you have programs in your subconscious mind that are in opposition to receiving what you want, you will not receive what you want, plain and simple. Your subconscious mind, when you go to battle against it, will always win. It always does. It can be your greatest friend or your very worst enemy, depending on what is programmed into your subconscious mind at this point. If you want more money in your life and your subconscious mind is in opposition to that, have more money in your life, plain and simple. So what we have to do is figure out how to reprogram your subconscious mind so that it is in alignment with what you want. And when it becomes in alignment with what you want, it'll move heaven and earth to make sure that you receive what you want. So again, your greatest friend or your worst enemy, depending on what programs are running in your subconscious mind. So The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, that was written by Joseph Murphy, is a phenomenal book at explaining how the subconscious mind works. It also talks about your conscious mind, but it tells you how your subconscious mind works, how the programming that is currently in it got in there, and how to change that programming if you're not satisfied with the results that you're getting in your life. So Joseph Murphy tells you how to do that in relationship to money and wealth, as well as things like health and relationships and things like that. So it is very important to understand how this works. So we've taken some time to go through it. And I wanted to find a copy for you guys that you could follow with and find one for free. So all I did is I went into Google, typed in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind PDF, and I saw several. However, the one I chose and like is this one right here. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind dash the Logos Center. If you go up here, it says www.logoscenter.org, and downloads and Power of Your Subconscious Mind and so forth. Anyhow, don't know who they are, doesn't really even matter, okay? Here's what I'll show you though. When I clicked on that, up popped this. Now it brought me to page 1, not page 183, okay? But what happened was the book itself popped right up. I didn't have to put in a name, email, or anything like that. What I did is I used my download function and put one on my computer. Same way you can go put it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever it is that you're on right now, or that you will be on in the future, and downloaded a copy so that you could have the same copy and follow along with us. I recommend that you go there and get a copy. If you don't choose to do it right this minute, that's fine, because I'm going to keep sharing my screen for now as we go through and do some reading together. And I'm going to be doing some reading and then adding commentary where I feel it's appropriate or helpful. And then what we will do is we always like to save about 10-15 minutes towards the end for you guys to share whatever you like or to ask whatever questions you like. So I just kind of want to give you the outlay. That's how we function. If you go into, excuse me, if you go into chat and start typing, just so you know, I don't pay attention to it. I'm focused on getting us through what we're going through and helping teach you what you need to learn so that you can receive more money and wealth in your life. And in order to do that effectively, I have to ignore chat for now. But again, we will give you time to share what you want to share or ask whatever questions you want to. It will just be at the appropriate time, which will give us, like I said, 10-15 minutes towards the end of what we're doing. Okay. So I am going to just get started right here, right now with this. And first, I'm going to get a sip of water. Oh, by the way, we are on page 183, and there's 193 in the book. We may actually finish this today, or it may go into 2 days, maybe today, and then we'll finish it up tomorrow. Excuse me, but I'm bringing that up because Joseph Murphy obviously has spent a lot of time teaching us, and you guys have learned a lot. We've been actually running our meetup since November 5th, and we've gone through some different books and some other things that we've been learning from and going through together. And I just want you to know that, hey, you're on the back end of this particular book. So again, highly recommended if you don't have it, that you go get it. The other thing I recommend is go join, again, our Facebook group. Join our Facebook group here, and then you can go ahead and go to the back meetups that we've had, the past Zoom meetings, and you can have all the content that we've been going through since we started this book, plus everything since we started November 5th. All right. Welcome to change. Old age is not a tragic occurrence. What we call the aging process is really change. It is to be welcomed joyfully and gladly. Each phase of human life is a step forward on a path that has no end. We have enormous powers that transcend the limits of our bodily powers. We have marvelous senses that transcend the limits of our 5 physical senses. Life is spiritual and eternal. We need never grow old, for life or God cannot grow old. The Bible says that God is life. Life is self-renewing, eternal, indestructible, and is the reality of all people. Life is. A woman once asked Thomas Edison, the electrical wizard, "Mr. Edison, what is electricity?" He replied, "Madam, electricity is. Use it." Electricity is the name we give an invisible power that we do not fully comprehend. Yet we learn all we can about the principles of electricity and its uses. We use it in countless ways. Scientists cannot see an electron with their eyes, yet they accept it as a scientific fact because it is the only valid conclusion that coincides with other experimental evidence. We cannot see life. However, we know we are alive. Life is, and we're here to express it in all its beauty and glory. Mind and spirit do not grow old. The Bible says, "And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God." Anyone who thinks or believes that the earthly cycle of birth, adolescence, youth, maturity, and old age is all there is to life is indeed to be pitied. Such a person has no anchor, no hope, no vision. To that person, life has no meaning. This type of belief brings frustration, stagnation, cynicism, and a sense of hopelessness that leads to neurosis and mental aberrations of all kinds. What if you can no longer play a fast game of tennis or swim as fast as your children? What if your body has slowed down or you walk with a slow step? Remember, life is always clothing itself anew. What people call death is but a journey to a new city in another dimension of life. I say to those who come to my lectures that they should accept what we call old age gracefully. Age has its own glory, beauty, and wisdom that belong to it. Peace, love, joy, beauty, happiness, wisdom, goodwill, and understanding are qualities that never grow old or die. Ralph Waldo Emerson, poet and philosopher, said, "We do not count a man's years until he has nothing else to count." Your character, the quality of your mind, your faith, and your convictions are not subject to decay. You are as young as you think you are. I give public lectures in Caxton Hall in London, England, every few years. Following one of these lectures, a surgeon came up to speak to me. "I am 84 years of age," he told me. "I operate every morning, visit patients in the afternoons, and I write for medical and other scientific journals in the evening." His attitude was that he was as useful as he believed himself to be and as young as his thoughts. He said to me, "It's true what you said just now. A person is as strong as he thinks he is and as valuable as he thinks he is." This surgeon has not surrendered to advancing years. He knows that he is immortal. His final comment to me was, "If I should pass on tomorrow, I will find myself helping and curing people in the next dimension, not with a surgeon's scalpel, but with mental and spiritual surgery." Your gray hairs are an asset. Don't ever walk away from an opportunity while thinking, "I'm too old to take this on." That way lies stagnation and mental death. If you become convinced you're finished, your subconscious mind will accept that belief and bring it into reality. Some people are old at 30, while others are young at 80. The mind is the master weaver, the architect, the designer, and the sculptor. The playwright George Bernard Shaw was still active at 90, and the artistic quality of his mind had not relaxed from active duty. I meet men and women who tell me that some employers almost slam the door in their faces when they say they're over 40. This attitude on the part of the employers is cold, callous, and completely void of compassion and understanding. Who decreed that you must be under 35 years of age to receive consideration? The reasoning behind this is shallow and specious. Not sure what that word means or if it's misprint there, but anyhow, shallow and specious. If the employer would stop to think, he or she would realize that the person was not selling his or her age or gray hair. Rather, the person would be willing to give of his or her talents, experience, and wisdom gathered through years of experience in the marketplace of life. Age is an asset. Your age should be a distinct asset to any organization because of your practice and application through the years of the principles of the Golden Rule and the law of love and goodwill. Your gray hair, if you have any, should stand for greater wisdom, skill, and understanding. Your emotional and spiritual maturity should be a tremendous blessing to any organization. People should not be shunned or shunted to the sidelines at 65 or any particular chronological age. That is a time of life when they could be most useful in handling personal problems, making plans for the future, making decisions, and guiding others in the realm of creative ideas based on their experience and insight into the nature of the business. Be your age. I've had it with this business, a Hollywood scriptwriter told me. I've done first-rate work for years. I know my craft as well as anyone in town. I've won awards at festivals around the world. Puzzled, I'd asked, then what's wrong? He threw up his hands. The last story conference I went to, this 30-year-old studio executive told me I couldn't relate to today's audiences. When I tried to argue, he informed me that he didn't want any scripts that were geared towards the minds and tastes of boys 12 to 18. I walked out. This is a tragic state of affairs. How are the great masses of people expected to become emotionally and spiritually mature if they're fed with such a diet? They're being blinded to the potential they have within them for personal growth. They are told that they must glorify youth, even though in reality, youth stands for inexperience, lack of discernment, and hasty judgment. I can keep up with the best of them. I know dozens in their 60s and older who spend their time in a frantic campaign to stay young. They take fad drugs, follow fad diets, waste their money on flimsy exercise machines whose virtues are touted on late night television. Those with greater resources go in for spa treatments, liposuction, and cosmetic surgery. Their constant futile cry is, "Look, I can keep up with the best of them." These people should remember a great truth. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Diets, multivitamins, and supports of all kinds will not keep these people young. They must realize that they grow old or remain young in accordance with their process of thinking. Your subconscious mind is conditioned by your thoughts. If your thoughts are constantly on the beautiful, the noble, and the good, you will remain spiritually young, regardless of your chronological years. Fear of old age. Job said, "The thing which I greatly feared is come upon me." Many people fear old age. They are uncertain about the future because they anticipate mental and physical deterioration as the years advance. What they think and feel comes to pass. You grow old when you lose interest in life, when you cease to dream, to hunger after new truths, and to search for new worlds to conquer. When your mind is open to new ideas and new interest, and when you raise the curtain and let in the sunshine and inspiration of new truths of life and the universe, you'll be young and vital. You have much to give. Whether you're 65 or 95 years of age, you must realize you have much to give. You can help stabilize, advise, and direct the younger generation. You can give the benefit of your knowledge, your experience, and your wisdom. You can always look ahead, for at times you're gazing into infinite life. You'll find that you can never cease to unveil the glories and wonders of life. Try to learn something new every moment of the day, and you will find your mind will always be young. 110 years old. Some years ago, while lecturing in Bombay, India, I was introduced to a man whose friends told me he was 110 years old. He had the most beautiful face I have ever seen. He seemed transfigured by the radiance of an inner light. There was a rare beauty in his eyes. I could see he had grown old in years with gladness and with no indication that his mind had dimmed its lights. Retirement, a new venture. Be sure that your mind never retires. Again, be sure that your mind never retires. Doesn't matter what age you are, be sure that your mind never retires. Your mind must be like a parachute. It is of no use at all unless it opens up. Be open and receptive to new ideas. I have seen people of 65 and 70 retire. They seem to rot away and in a few months passed on. They obviously felt that their life had come to an end, and because they thought so, it was so. Retirement can be a new venture and a new challenge, a new path, the beginning of the fulfillment of a long dream. It is inexpressibly depressing to hear someone say, "What will I do now that I'm retired?" He or she is saying, in effect, "I am mentally and physically dead. My mind is bankrupt of ideas." All this is a false picture. The real truth is that you can accomplish more at 90 than you did at 60, because each day you're growing in wisdom and understanding of life and the universe through your new studies and interests. He graduated to a better job. Frank W. was an executive who lives near me. He was forced out of his job a few months ago. The company told him it was because of a new restructuring plan, but he believed his age of 65 lay behind the decision. "Do you feel better about being the victim of discrimination?" I asked him. "Are you going to sue?" He laughed ruefully. "I could, I suppose, and I guess I might very well win in court. But why should I spend my time and energy that way? I haven't lost my job. The company has lost my services." That is a great attitude. He paused and then added, "The way I look at it, I just got, I should say, my promotion from kindergarten to first grade." "How do you mean?" "Well, for instance," he replied, "when I graduated from high school, I climbed to the next rung of the ladder by going to college. I took a step forward in my education and understanding of life in general. My career was another step, or maybe a few steps. Now I've been liberated to do things I've always wanted to do. In other words, being let go is still another step upward on the ladder of life." Frank came to the wise conclusion that he was no longer going to concentrate on making a living. Now he was going to give all his attention to living life. By the way, you don't have to wait till you're 65 to do this. I know from experience. Frank came to the wise conclusion that he was no longer going to concentrate on making a living. Now he was going to give all his attention to living life. He had been a passionate amateur photographer for years. He made a commitment to take courses in photographic technique at a nearby art institute. Later, he went on a voyage around the world. At each place he visited, he took dozens of rolls of film. He now lectures before various groups, lodges, and clubs, and is in constant demand. There are countless ways of taking an interest in something worthwhile outside yourself. Become enthusiastic over new creative ideas, make spiritual progress, and continue to learn and grow. In this manner, you will remain young in heart because you are hungering and thirsting after new truths, and your body will reflect your thinking at all times. Let's see, what do we got? Time. You must be a producer and not a prisoner of society. Laws that prohibit employers from discriminating against men and women because of age are a step in the right direction, but laws alone cannot alter the way people think. Someone of 65 years may be younger mentally, physically, and psychologically than many people of 30. We're here to enjoy the fruits of our labor, to be a producer and not a prisoner of society that sentences us to idleness because of our age. A person's body slows down gradually as he or she advances through the years, but his conscious mind can be made much more active, alert, alive, and quickened by the inspiration from his or her subconscious mind. The mind in reality never grows old. Job said, "Oh, that I were in the months past, and in the days when God preserved me, when his candle shined upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness, as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tabernacle." Secret of youth. To recapture the days of our youth, feel the miraculous, healing, self-renewing power of your subconscious mind moving through your whole being. Let me repeat that. To recapture the days of your youth, feel the miraculous, healing, self-renewing power of your subconscious mind moving through your whole being. Know and feel that you're inspired, lifted up, rejuvenated, revitalized, and recharged spiritually. You can bubble over with enthusiasm and joy as in the days of your youth, for the simple reason that you can always mentally and emotionally recapture that joyous state. The candle that shines upon your head is divine intelligence. It reveals to you, boy, a lot of typos here. No, that's not a typo, that's just me. It reveals to you everything you need to know. It enables you to affirm the presence of your good, regardless of appearances. You walk by the guidance of your subconscious mind because you know that the dawn appears and the shadows flee. Get a vision. Instead of saying, I am old, say, I am wise in the way of the divine life. Don't let the corporation, newspapers, or statistics hold a picture before you of old age, declining years, decrepitude, senility, and uselessness. Reject it, for it is a lie. Refuse to be hypnotized by such propaganda. Affirm life, not death. Get a vision of yourself as happy, radiant, successful, serene, and powerful. Your mind does not grow old. The pioneering heart surgeon, Michael DeBakey, developed the first roller pump for blood in 1932. His pump is still used for heart bypass surgery. At the age of 90, Dr. DeBakey got permission to start clinical trials on a new invention, a tiny pump that can be implanted in the chests of those with severe heart disease. Not content with research, DeBakey pursued an active surgical schedule as well. A colleague said it would take other people 5 or 6 lifetimes to do what he's done. DeBakey summed up his philosophy at 90 this way: as long as you have challenges and are physically and mentally able, life is stimulating and invigorating. His mind active at 99. My father learned the French language at 65 years of age and became an authority on it at 70. He began the study of Gaelic when he was over 60 and became an acknowledged and famous teacher on the subject. He assisted my sister at an institute of higher education until he passed away at 99. His mind was as clear at 99 as it had been when he was 20. In fact, his reasoning powers became even sharper with age. Truly, you are as old as you think and feel. We need our senior citizens. Marcus Porcius Cato, the Roman patriot, learned Greek at 80. Madame Ernestine Schumann-Heink, the great German-American contralto, reached the pinnacle of her musical success after she became a grandmother. The Greek philosopher Socrates learned to play musical instruments when he was 80 years old. Michelangelo was painting his greatest canvases at 80. At 80, C.S. Simonides won the prize for poetry. Johann van Gogh finished Faust, and Leopold von Ranke commenced his History of the World, which he finished at 92. Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote a magnificent poem, Crossing the Bar, at 83. Isaac Newton was hard at work, close to 85. And at 88, John Wesley was directing, preaching, and guiding Methodism. Jean-Louise Calment of Arles, France, was not famous as these people were famous in her youth. She once met a famous man, the painter Vincent van Gogh, but that did not bring her any particular notice. It was not until after her 100th birthday that those around her began to pay attention. For her, it was the occasion to give up riding her bicycle every day. For her, it was the occasion to give up riding her bicycle every day. On Calmet's 110th birthday, she received greetings and good wishes from around the world. Her 118th birthday made her the oldest documented human in history. When asked how she had done it, she said, "I took pleasure when I could. I acted clearly and morally and without regret. I'm very lucky." At 122, her smile was as radiant and contagious as ever. Let us place our senior citizens in high places and give them every opportunity to bring forth the flowers of paradise. If you're retired, get interested in the laws of life and the wonders of your subconscious mind. Do something you've always wanted to do, study new subjects and investigate new ideas. Pray as follows: "As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God." Let's see, time-wise and page-wise, 2 pages. I'm going to go ahead and finish, but we will still take time for comments and questions. "His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his youth." Old age really means the contemplation of the truths of God from the highest standpoint. Realize that you're on an endless journey, a series of important steps in the ceaseless, tireless, endless ocean of life. Then, with the psalmist, you will say, "They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing." But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. You are a child of infinite life, which knows no end, and you are an heir to eternity. Profitable pointers: patience, kindness, love, goodwill, joy, happiness, wisdom, and understanding are qualities that never grow old. Cultivate them and express them and remain young in mind and body. The neurotic fear of the effects of time may well be the cause of premature aging. Age is not the flight of years, it is the dawn of wisdom in the mind of humans. The most productive years of your life can be from 65 to 95. Welcome the advancing years. It means you're moving higher on the path of life, which has no end. God is life, and that is your life now. Life is self-renewing, eternal, and indestructible, and is the reality of all humans. You live forever because your life is God's life. You cannot see your mind, but you know you have a mind. You cannot see spirit, but you know that the spirit of the game, the spirit of the artist, the spirit of the musician, and the spirit of the speaker is real. Likewise, the spirit of goodness, truth, and beauty moving in your mind and heart are real. You cannot see life, but you know you are alive. Old age may be called the contemplation of the truths of God from the highest standpoint. The joys of old age are greater than those of youth. Your mind is engaged in spiritual mental athletics. Nature slows your bodies so that you may have the opportunity to meditate on things divine. We do not count a man's years until he has nothing else to count. Your faith and convictions are not subject to decay. You are as young as you think you are. You're as strong as you think you are. You're as useful as you think you are. You're as young as your thoughts. The gray hairs are an asset. You're not selling your gray hairs. You're selling your talent, abilities, and wisdom that you have garnered through the years. Fad diets and expensive pills won't keep you young. As a man thinketh, so is he. Fear of old age can bring about physical and mental deterioration. The thing I greatly feared has come upon me. You grow old when you cease to dream and when you lose interest in life. You grow old if you're irritable, crotchety, petulant, and cantankerous. Fill your mind with the truths of God and radiate the sunshine of his love. This is youth. Look ahead for all times, and you are gazing into infinite life. Your retirement is a new venture. Take up new studies and interests. You can do things you always wanted to do when you were so busy making a living. Give your attention to living life. Become a producer and not a prisoner of society. Don't hide your light under a bushel. The secret of youth is love, joy, inner peace, and laughter. In God, there is a fullness of joy. In God, there's no darkness at all. You are needed. Some of the great philosophers, artists, scientists, writers, and others accomplished their greatest work after they were 80 years old. The fruit of old age are love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. You're a child of the infinite life that knows no end. You are an heir to eternity. You are wonderful. All right. Well, yay. I see some clapping there. You're like, yeah, we made it through this one. Awesome, awesome. See that many people joined us since we got started also. Glad to have everybody here with us. Grateful, grateful, grateful for you all. All right. And I don't recognize any brand new people here today that I can tell. So what I'm going to do really quickly here before we start, I'm going to hop into chat. Some of you weren't with us yesterday, so I want to share with you something here. There's a 14-minute, actually it's 13 minutes, 59 seconds, if you want to be exact. So there's a 14-minute video here, special announcement, definitely valuable, totally valuable, and it's meant for certain people. It's actually meant for everybody, to be perfectly honest. However, some of you will find it even more helpful than others. So what I recommend you do is don't go there right now because we're going to finish doing what we're doing. However, before we log off today, click on that and go watch that for 14 minutes so you can get caught up on what is special that's going on. Okie dokie. So since everybody has been here before, you know the drill. Now is the time for you guys to share what you like and or ask whatever questions you want to ask. Ready, go.
Okay, I'm first.
All right.
Because I'll say that I am retraining my mind. I also looked up Bob Proctor's institution and looked up more things associated with him, listened to a lot of his videos, and just kept telling myself very positive things about the business that I do. I work for New York Life now. It is all commission. And I was just making it all, I mean, I'm coming from nothing. So to all commission, but I'm going to make it. See, that's the thing about it. I'm going to be financially stable and abundant. And I have those goals on my mirror, and I'm starting to write out my 300. Then I rip them out because I want to start over again. Because that's, because I don't know. I feel like I need to start over. That's not quite the way I want to word it. So then
I would say just get the 300 done, then fix it later.
Okay, honey, I'll do that. I'll just get the 300 down. But I'm also encouraging my manager. We're going to be positive together because see, he likes to come off with bad news, good news. And I said, Steve, it's not bad news, good news. We're just going to say it's just news. Okay. And what I'm going to do from this, the news that you're giving me is that I'm learning. See, so it may be, it's just news, and I'm learning now that this type of candidate is not a good candidate for a long-term care policy, that I need to make better choices. And because 2 of my candidates were denied the policy. So, but I said, I'm going to make up for that. I'm going to have more policies. I'm going to make up for it. So they're not going to take money away from me. I'm not even going to entertain that idea that New York is going to want their money back because we have advanced commissions. And so I said, I'm not even going to entertain that idea. They're not going to take money back from me. We're going to make more money for them. We're going to have more clients. And even before the end of the month, I said, we'll have 2 or 3 more clients. I said, that's the idea. There is no good news, bad news. It's just news. It's just news, and I'm learning. Oh, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I love that thumbs up, baby. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, I want to share something before the next person shares really quick. I'm going to share an affirmation that I recommend that everybody use. And what I recommend that you do, so I'm going to play it. So you're going to either write it down. I'll play it long enough that you guys can write it down, okay? Or you can go back and re-listen to this, but what I want you to do is take the affirmation, record it in your own voice, put it on a loop, and listen to it after you do your 5 to 15 minutes of night visualization that we talk about. Play this as you're going to sleep and just let it play all night long. Okay? Here's your affirmation. Increasing. My income is constantly and forever 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 increasing. So here's what I recommend that you do. Record yourself saying it 3 times. You're like, not just once and repeating. Say it 3 times, but make the intonation just a little different each time. Notice how I did that. So it's 3 times, just make the tonation a little bit different, the emphasis and whatnot for each of the 3 times, and then put it on a loop and play it every night for the next 6 months. Don't miss a night.
Kevin,
Yes.
what's a loop? I mean, how do you create the loop? What do you do to do that? Just keep saying it?
Well, what I mean by a loop is on your audio, whatever device you're using, and I imagine it's electronic, meaning not a cassette tape or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
I still have that though. That's my favorite.
Awesome. Well, you could do that. It's just eventually going to run out and you'd have to say it a million times. The reason you put it on a loop is that we only have to say it 3 times. But on your phone, on whatever recording device you have, you can go ahead and just set it so it does that little circle thing. So basically it just plays it over and over and over again. So it doesn't shut off till you shut it off.
I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, yes, you can.
On it, I have a little digital.
Here,
See
do you
here.
have a cell phone? Do you have a cell phone?
No, I don't have my cell phone's not working.
Okay.
I just have this digital.
Okay, well, when you say your cell phone's not working, meaning it doesn't make phone calls, because that's irrelevant. It's still a recording device.
It's the recorder, huh? So what do you do on your cell phone? How do you do that? I'm not.
Okay, so is that a recorder you just showed me?
Yeah.
Is it an audio recording device? I don't know what it is. So
Yeah, it's a digital voice recorder.
Okay. So if you know how it works, great. There's going to be a function in there that's going to let you replay over and over. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to tell you the secrets of the universe right now. Go to YouTube and type in whatever it is that you have and ask it how to use the freaking thing. That's
idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yes. I am not handy at all, and I changed this is years ago. I changed an electrical plug on a dryer to the other plug, and I know nothing about any of that because I watched a YouTube video and I did not catch the house on fire. So you can pretty much teach yourself how to do anything if you know what it is that you have. Now you have to put in the right device and ask the right question, right? But go to YouTube. Somebody there will share with you how to do what it is you want to do. I'm not going to go to your house and show you. It's too far away. Probably. And if it's 3 feet away, it's too far away.
I'm just like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Didn't even think about YouTube.
Yep. YouTube University. All right. Next comment or question, please.
Hi, Kevin. It's Sunshine. How are you doing today?
Hey, terrific. Hi, Sunshine.
So I wanted to know what you should do if you're burnt out. I've been doing a lot of things. I've been trying to, if I can, at least listen to the Science of Getting Rich more often, because in the book it says, listen to this every day.
Okay.
And I've been listening to my 300 lists morning and night.
Awesome. Okay.
And actually, so I'm going to try to figure out how to play things simultaneously because I'm working on a different subconscious thing that I'm listening to at night or playing while I'm sleeping.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know. It is the busy season at my regular job
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
And I think I'm still a little nervous that my results still haven't come back yet.
Okay.
But I've been, praying fervently and
Hmm.
saying thank you for my healing. The
Okay.
only thing that I will admit that I have not done
Okay.
is watch something funny. I'm studying right now.
Yep.
So at first I was like, oh, what do I even think is funny? And that was a chore in itself.
Okay.
I ended up watching laughing baby
Uh-huh.
videos, and that helped for a little bit.
Okay.
Um
If you want something that probably isn't going to be obnoxious or have swearing, find a YouTube channel called Dry Bar Comedy.
Dry bar comedy. Okay.
That way they're not going to, I mean, everybody's different on what they're okay with, but they're not going to be dropping F-bombs and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's going to
And
be
I did go out this weekend and I
cool.
had fun.
Good.
That was on Sunday.
Okay. So how did you feel as a result? Like, did you feel rejuvenated or more?
I felt like my world was all like the universe, like all the stars were aligned. I felt
Uh-huh.
great. I felt amazing.
Yep. So you are allowed to do that more than once a week. I'm just telling everybody, right?
Okay.
Usually burnout means you're not having much fun. You're overly focused on some result or on trying to take some form of action.
Hmm.
Usually the cure for that, depending on your personality, but especially an A-type driver personality, I don't know that that's you or not, but that used to be me. Okay. I I have to choose to go have fun, and fun can mean just about anything. It doesn't always have to cost money or whatever, but it's got to be something that while I'm doing it, it puts a smile on my face and I feel here's the key to know if it was fun and good for you. You do feel rejuvenated when you're done versus worn out. Like some people take vacations and they're more worn out after their vacation than they were before they left. That's because you didn't let go, probably, and you were thinking about Monday instead of enjoying the weekend, kind of thing. But what you just said, whatever it was that you did, if you can redo it, go do it. It may or may not always have the exact same effect every single time, because if you go do the same thing every day, eventually you might not want to do it.
Hmm.
There are some things that you can do that probably are fun, but that's when I'm coaching someone and they're stuck, I almost always, require them to have fun and then report back to me what they did and how it was. And usually that's funny because that's when the phone rings or you get the email or the text message that tells you that something really cool just happened and you're like, "Oh, God's good because I didn't make that happen. It happened while I was out having fun." And I don't know if we have any of our couple of realtors on here today, but the adage that you will make more money selling real estate when you're out vacationing and having fun than when you're working on real estate tends to be true. Let's see,
Okay.
Francine, can you vouch for that? I think that
Yes,
you're
I can vouch for it. And actually, I have a 12-day trip. I'm going skiing next week. I'm leaving Tuesday, and I'm going to ski in Utah, and then I'm going to Colorado to Telluride afterwards to ski. So I have already the person that's covering my business lined up, and I'm sure I'll be writing contracts while I'm away because I don't take a real vacation. I always take my computer and write contracts while I'm away.
sure. But you're having a good time and you end up not only probably replacing the amount of money you spent while you're vacationing, but probably made even more.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. That's actually how it works, guys. When you're in the right frame of mind for it. If all you're doing is fretting about something while you're trying to have fun, then it's not having the correct impact. But is that helpful, Sunshine?
Yes, I will try to make more space for myself to have fun.
Actually, you're not going to try to do it. Like
I am
put a
going
put a
to.
penny on put a penny on the ground and try and pick it up. Right? You
I
either pick
am
it up or you
going to
don't.
make more space for me to have fun.
There you go. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, next time you start saying the word try, I get it, okay? And I say it occasionally too. But put a pencil on the ground and try and pick it up. Put anything somewhere and try and pick it up. You can't try to pick something. You either pick something up or you don't. Right? So yeah, just remove the word try and just finish the phrase without the word try. All right. Any other comments or questions? Hey, Takira.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, it's like really a question. It's more like what I did today. I'm doing the tithing thing, but I don't do it to a church. So I prayed about who to give it to. I don't like to say what I do if I give it to somebody, so I'll just say, I tithe today. But
Okay.
after I was done, when I tell you I felt so like invigorated. Like on the way there, it was like prior to our meetup. So I was like, oh my God, I gotta hurry up. And I had a Zoom call at 1. So I like rushed to do it. But when I was there, I saw like Bentleys, I saw furs, I saw like all these beautiful men. Oh my God, these attractive clothing on these beautiful mannequins. And I'm like, that's how I want my husband to dress. And I just lined up with the the items in the store. So if it was a watch, I just was like, I could buy that. I can afford this. And when I was done giving it to him, he told me he loves me. And I'm like, oh, I love you too. And he actually said he's really cute. He's a little white boy, but he's so cute. And I didn't even look at him like that at first, So this prosperity stuff is like so lit for me. It really is. And it does work when you go have fun, because just going to my favorite town, I felt abundant and I felt so good. And then I come home and I got email about grants for my business, like potential Black owned grants and women grants and minority based grants. I haven't gotten it yet, but the frequency I'm on is like, oh, maybe I'll get it. And then I'm going to be speaking. So I got to do my hair and get my makeup done on Thursday for this organization, which is really kind of scary for me because I'm not a public speaker. But I remember you talked about that in the book with the girl with the fear. So that's kind of where I'm at, like the fear of speaking in front of all these people on Thursday. And like, oh my God, am I going to look pretty? Is my hair, like I stutter? I don't know. I'm just like a little laid back about that. Everything
First of
else
all,
is rosy.
the pretty hair stuff and all that, don't worry about it. You're fine. Okay. So let's just focus on getting the words out. Okay. Nobody's going to be up there going, oh my gosh, look at her. Oh, that's not even possible. Okay.
Oh God.
So pretty, it hurts.
Yeah.
Thanks, I don't feel it. I feel like, oh my God, I got like hair loose and my glasses on that day.
Yeah,
I
Takira,
really am nervous.
that's all programming. It's all programming.
That's programming, right?
But
Okay.
just picture yourself. Are people at the end of this type of talk that you're giving allowed to clap?
Oh yeah, it's a graduation. It's good. I'm an alumni speaker for a graduation.
Oh, okay. Well, then picture people standing up and clapping.
Even though it's virtual, they gonna stand up?
Well, or picture clap. Okay, if it's virtual, picture whatever positive result at the end that you can receive. Picture the result at the end.
Picture the result at the end.
Because if you can picture and feel yourself being there and live the ovation or live the grit, or kind of like, hey, that was great. People are chatting or whatever. Oh yeah, that was awesome. Oh yeah, hey, thank you. Whatever it is, picture receiving that and feel it. And then your subconscious mind will make sure that happens.
Okay. Because there's even a testing in the morning with the lighting, and I'm like, this is serious. I thought I'd just go on there and talk like I do with you guys, but they want me to like put my home in order and speak and do the mic checks and all that. And I'm like, I'm not into that.
but
I'm just a
don't worry.
little.
Let them do their thing. It is just going to be like this. Picture it being just like this. They're going to do their stuff. That's fine. But you aren't going to do anything different than you're doing right now.
Okay. And don't worry about the beauty aspects. Just worry about the words. Because I want to
No,
get a new outfit.
Well, don't worry about anything. Because that's not
anything.
right. Don't worry. Just, hey,
That's
God's
all
got
I
this.
wanna
I got
hear.
this. I'll receive the inspiration I need as needed.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome. Any other questions or comments? Okie dokie. Well, just a quick reminder before we sign off, please go into chat and actually, I'm going to post it one more time. Go ahead and watch the 14-minute video. If you weren't with us yesterday and you haven't gone and done that, that'll get you up to date with something special that's going on. And we are done with this. So I'm not even going to tell you, we're probably not going to we will hop into something. We're going to go into a book called The Power of Awareness, but we're not going to start that tomorrow. I got something else we're going to do instead. I'm just not sure what it is. I just know I'm supposed to do something else. One quick heads up for you guys. Thursday, I'm going to be doing something with and for my family where I'm not going to be able to do this. So just a heads up. I haven't even missed, you guys have seen, I haven't even missed any holidays. But the time frame for this and my ability to get on the internet at that time isn't going to be available Thursday. So that will be one time that I won't be with you. However, look forward to tomorrow. Let's see what God decides to share with us. And I've got a lot of things that I could work with. I just haven't made up my mind, but I know that it'll be cool, whatever we do tomorrow. So please go into chat. Please watch the 14-minute YouTube video that I did for you. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks a
Have
lot,
a
Kevin.
Thank you. Y'all take care.
See ya.
You guys too. Bye.
Bye-bye, y'all.